Welcome to 7 Report and our review of the new Kangertech CLTank 4.0. In the midst of releasing a number of new mods, including versions of the K-Box and Drip Box, Kangertech has also brought a couple of new tanks to market. One of them, the CLTank, is in response to recent regulations in the European Union. Now, despite the almost inevitable negative effect any government regulation has on quality, cost, and innovation, Kangertech has managed to develop a device that not only satisfies the regulations, but one that should satisfy most vapors as well. Kangertech has released 2 versions of the CLTank, the 4.0 and the 2.0, with the numbers denoting the e-juice capacity of each variation of the tank. The CLTank 2.0 with a 2.0 mil capacity is a direct response to the limitations of tanks in the EU to that capacity of 2.0 milliliters. Kangertech sent me the CLTank 4.0 to review. The CL in CLTank stands for child lock. That's another one of those requirements from the European Union regulations. The CLTank is a top filler, and the child lock top fill sort of work hand in hand. See that little arrow here? You line that up. Where is it? There we go. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. It's rather small with that little line, and then just like a medicine bottle, you press down and spin to remove the top of the tank. Now when you do that, again, to make this leak-proof, child-proof, the coil, the CC, or rather the CLOCC, which stands for Child Lock Organic Cotton Coil, remains attached to the chimney and the top of the tank. So the only potential really for e-juice leakage or seepage is when you pull that coil out, when you're either going to be changing your e-juice or refilling, because you've got some juice on that coil, it may drip off there. So we're going to just turn that upside down to minimize the dripping. Get a bottle of e-juice here. I've got some on my fingers. And it really is rather easy to fill it. Now, because all you have here basically is an empty tube, there is a mark etched into the side of the tank that says max with a line to show you that that's as far as you should fill it, because once you put that coil back in there, it's going to force the rest of the juice up. So we're going to go ahead and, I don't know that I've got enough e-juice in this bottle to get us much above that line. These lights are just wreaking havoc. Nope, I don't. Well, that's pretty close. You see down in there, there's the connector to your coil. And the coil on the bottom, there is no airflow coming from the bottom. There's just those e-juice ports in the coil itself. So that's going to also add to that leak-proof feature of this tank. Then you just press down and screw it back on. And once you've got it on there good and tight, that top is just going to spin and spin and spin to keep kids from getting into it. Now, there is that airflow port. It's a single one, and it's fairly wide open. You can adjust it, but I find that with the airflow port at the top of the tank like that, the jaw is pretty tight, even wide open. Now, Kanger does package the CLTank with 2 coils. It comes with a stainless steel coil installed, but I swapped it out and put the nickel 200 in there. And here's the other coil. This is actually the stainless steel that was included. And again, you see there's nowhere for that e-juice to leak out, with the exception of through the e-juice ports, and that's actually where it's supposed to come in. The stainless steel is a 1.5 ohm coil, or rather a 0.5 ohm coil, and the nickel 200 is a 0.15 ohm coil. Kanger also lists on their website a 1.5 ohm nichrome version of the CLOCC on its website, and again that stands for Child Lock Organic Cotton Coil. The tank itself, 22 millimeter in diameter. It's 46 millimeters tall, not counting the 510 connector and your drip tip. And that's pretty much what comes in the box too. You get the tank itself, you get a second coil, and you get a user's manual, which shows you pretty clearly how you remove the lid and fill it with e-juice and all the different parts of the tank. I was pleasantly surprised with the amount and flavor of the vapor the CLTank produces. The vapor itself, a little warmer than that produced by some other tanks I've used with the same e-juice and at the same temperature settings, and the draw just a little bit tighter, even with the airflow port wide open. Now I chalk that up to the location of the airflow port at the top of the tank. The CLOCC coils last a pretty long time. I've been using the nickel 200 coil for several weeks, and it's still putting out loads of tasty vapor. The child lock and leak-proof features are the key positives of the Kangertech CLTank 4.0. It's top filling and with 3 types of available coils, also positives. The 4.0 mil capacity, and to a greater degree 2.0 mil capacity of the EU compliant version, and the location of that airflow port at the top of the tank. They maybe aren't negatives, but they certainly aren't positives in my opinion either. Kanger is known for its quality tanks, and the CLTank 4.0 as high a quality or higher than any of the other Kanger tanks I've used, and I've used almost all of them. Those new CLOCC coils are designed to be leak-proof, and they have been so far for me, and they don't seem to suffer from the occasional gurgling that some other coils seem to be subject to. Now the only quality issue, and this is possibly more of a design issue than a quality issue, is the Pyrex portion of this tank is not removable. So that means you can't totally disassemble the tank to clean it out. Well, that's not that big a deal, but if you happen to drop the tank and this Pyrex shatters, that's it for the tank. You got to replace the whole thing because there are no replacements available. The Kangertech CLTank 4.0, a pretty decent looking tank. You've got that logo on the silver version etched into it, and then of course you've got the Max. That's all rather subdued, at least the silver version is. It's also available in black, white, or red. I think red is the best looking version, at least of the 4.0s. And I actually kind of like the looks of the CLTank 2.0 a little bit better. But if you like lots of that silver or chrome and Pyrex, then the 4.0 in silver is gonna be your best bet. So what about price and value? Well, Kanger lists the CLTank 4.0 at $28.90. DirectVapor, a 7-report advertiser and review product supplier, has it available for $17.95. Now that makes the CLTank 4.0 a real bargain. It's leak-proof, there's a child lock, Has sub-ohm and temperature control coils available. The CLTank 4.0 is not only a good deal for the DirectVapor price, it's an excellent choice. Now, I used the Kangertech CLTank 4.0 for several weeks with a number of different e-juices, flavor and vapor production, decent to very good on every one of them. And I used it on the Kangertech KBox 200 and the Smock R-Steam Mini. It performed equally well on either one of those mods. Kangertech provided the CLTank 4.0 for the purpose of this review, and in the description section of this video on our YouTube channel and the article accompanying it on our website 7report.com, I will have a link to the Kangertech CLTank 4.0 product page on DirectVapor.com, where you can pick it up for that price of $17.95. Thanks again to our friends at Kangertech for providing the CLTank 4.0 for our review. They've just been fabulous about providing us with all the new stuff they've got coming out, and there's a lot of it. We still have a number of reviews to get to of new Kangertech products in the coming weeks on 7 Report. Thank you for being with us today on 7 Report. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out the rest of the website as well, 7report.com. We update both the YouTube channel and the website all the time with hardware and e-juice reviews and a whole lot more. So please do keep coming back to both of them. And thanks again for being with us today on 7 Report.